Flosstube land. Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates here, coming at you from the beautiful island of Oahu. It's another gorgeous day in paradise. It is 11:35 on Tuesday, February 5th. That's 11:35 a.m. I'm filming a little bit later this morning. I've actually been ready for a while, but they were power washing our landing and our stairs, and the noise was just, you know, that drone, and I'm sure you could have heard it, and it's one of those things where it's just droning on, and then they stop and you kind of go, and then they start again and you go, and I didn't want to do that to you. And it was wearing enough. I have a headache today, and it was wearing enough on me. I didn't want it to wear on you. So I do have a headache. I hope, I've had a headache for a couple days now. Yesterday was worse. But I hope that doesn't stop me from having some energy and some happiness to share with you. So here we are. We have some WIPS. Duh. We have a finish. Most of you who follow me on Instagram, who have joined my Jan Hicks Creates Facebook page, or are on Stitch Mania or Friday Off the Grid, you've seen this, you know what I'm talking about. But of course I'm going to show it again. And I also have another little finish. I have one little piece of haul. So let's get started. And of course now another engine is going. I think that's somebody's car. Hopefully they will move along soon. So let's see what's happening this week. I've decided that Mondays for me are going to be new Flosstuber Mondays. It has been a while since I've taken the time to watch any new Flosstubers. I'm not really getting a whole lot of time yet just to watch Flosstube in general, but I hope that we're pretty much settled now, so I hope I can get into a routine that includes some just sitting and relaxing and stitching and watching Flosstube. So, couple that I wanted to mention that I have watched yesterday and this morning. First, Steel City Stitchers. I just bumped my desk, so please forgive me. And something just fell down. Steel City Stitchers. So they are from Pittsburgh, which is my hometown. Well, I grew up outside of Pittsburgh to the east, but I'm a Pittsburgher native. So I was pretty thrilled to see that there was a group of ladies who are doing a Flosstube from my hometown. And they are just that, a group of ladies. 4 of them, and I don't remember their names: Kristen, Jody, Erica. Shoot, I'm missing one. I'm sorry. But I really enjoyed your videos. Well, video. I only got one done. I started a second one, I think. I'll watch more, I promise. But it's kind of cool to see, you know, we have a couple that are duos. We have the Kitchen Stitchers, which are a trio, though I think they're down to 2 now. I saw something about they've started a new channel with just 2, or maybe Pam and Steph mentioned it. But it's kind of cool to have a group of 4. Not only is there a lot to see, their styles are all different. Although they do like frosted pumpkin stitchery a lot, so there's a lot of those designs which are really cute. But it's also neat to see the interplay. Like when I did the video that it was me and Misty Purcell and Liz and Deb from the Country Stitchers up in Lancaster. You know, there's so much give and take and asking questions that you might not think to say. It's just a really cool dynamic. And so it was kind of fun to see that in a Flosstube. I will be watching more, but I recommend Steel City Stitchers to you. The other lady I watched was a Stitchy Bug. Her name is Liz. She is from Devon in England, in the UK, and that is in, was it the southwestern England? I don't remember. Of course her accent is brilliant. And of course we think so, us colonials. But she also has great projects. So I started with her WIP Parade, which I believe is her second video, and didn't make it all the way through that. And then this morning went back and watched her first video so I could kind of have an introduction to who she is. 2 children, great style, lots of, she is another one who's returned to stitching from a number of years ago. She returned a couple of years ago, and she kind of jumped into Sal's, which you know I love a good stitch along. So she has those going on. She has some build up to some new starts that she's planning. I just really liked all of her style. I think she's going to be a great one to watch and to get to know. She comments a lot on my videos, so I really wanted to get to her channel and check her out, and I'm glad I did. She's one I'll be watching regularly, and I recommend her to you guys. I have a couple more on my list that I didn't get to, so I will have more. And of course, there's always more out there that I haven't watched yet, so I will have more next Monday. Let's see, I hope you enjoyed the video at the front, at the beginning of my video, of kind of chasing the rainbow. Mike and I didn't really do much this past weekend as far as getting out and about. We spent Saturday getting kind of the last little bits done here, and we're done for the most part. There's one more thing that we need some wall studs to hang, and then pretty much everything will be done. So I'm pleased with that. You can see there's a few more additions over here on my wall, and like I said, I'll show you all that up close. Most of you have seen those, most of those, if you've been watching me for any length of time. And I forgot to say welcome. Like I said, I'm out of whack. What's new? Welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back. If you're returning and you've been sticking with me, I am so glad you're here. You know, Pam and Steph, when I read through my comments, I think of the comments that Pam and Steph make often on their channel, that they have the best commenters. Well, we must share the same viewers, because I love talking to you guys. Don't ever stop. I'm pretty much caught up. Yay! Well, there's some from yesterday I haven't gotten to yet. Yesterday was a bad day. But anyway, thank you, welcome, glad you're here. So yeah, Saturday we were pretty much here at home getting stuff done. Sunday, I got my Mahar's cut. I was getting kind of tired of that asymmetrical look, so I went shorter to kind of even it up. I don't know. I'm undecided. So that was Sunday afternoon, and then right as we were finishing up there, I got the call from the frames shop that they had finished Harbor Haven. And so we went from the hairdresser. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this backwards. Here's the island of Oahu. The hairdresser, the salon I go to, is down here in the southwest part of the island. That's called Chatelaine. And the framer, this thing did the same thing it did last week, where it cut off on me. It was at about 8 minutes, I noticed. Didn't do anything else. Seems to be recording okay. Didn't have a hot flash. One of my commenters said, oh, it's your hot flash. It's sending everything kerflooey. Can't blame it on the hot flash this time. I think it's just that everything's so stuffed full that it's complaining at me because we have no more storage, at least in the cloud. I never have enough storage in the cloud. Anyway, Oahu. So my salon is down here in Chatelaine. We had to go over the mountain that run up in the east central part of the island. I think that's called the Nu'upali range, to get over to Kaneohe. And so it's sunny down here. It's always sunny and hot for the most part. It's more arid down in this part of the island. And then of course, as you head up into the mountains, that's where the rain is. That's the clouds are sitting on the mountains. So that's what we're doing. We're going up into that mountain range, and it starts to rain. And the further we go up, there's a rainbow, and that rainbow was just right across the road. So I just started recording it as we were driving up the road to get to the tunnels that take us through the mountain. And you know, we were chasing that rainbow, and I just thought that was really cool. I hope you enjoyed that. Once we hit the tunnel and got to the other side, it was still kind of cloudy over there, but it wasn't raining. The weather on the island is fascinating to me. The topography dictates where the rain falls, and so that dictates what kind of vegetation there is. Endlessly fascinating to me. It's also fascinating, not just the different vegetation, but You know, as much as there's an awful lot that's built up, I think especially here on Oahu because of Waikiki and Honolulu being the capital, you know, it's very much a city. It doesn't take long to get out of that city feel and still be surrounded by pretty much just nothing but green vegetation. And when those mists come down into the mountains, there's still that mysterious tropical island quality. If you guys have ever seen South Pacific, the musical South Pacific, and you know the song Bali High, that's what it is. There's still that mystical feel to the island, even with all of the urban areas that you have. Love it, love it. But anyways, that's the only video I have for you. Okay, so things that bring me joy this week. I'm holding off on the big reveal for those of you that haven't seen it yet, so building the suspense. Can you tell? So one of my joys this week was Mike decided to make something last night called Socca flatbread. It's S-O-C-C-A. I don't know whether it's Socha or Socca. It is an Italian flatbread, I believe, but it's made with chickpea flour. So it is gluten-free, and the only ingredients I think he said were chickpea flour, water, some oil, maybe I think he put rosemary in what he made last night. So it's only like 5 ingredients, and it comes out because of course there's no yeast, there's no gluten to make it rise. It's a flatbread. It's more like a crepe consistency, but boy was it good. You know, for somebody like me who cannot eat gluten, naan, we love Indian food. I can't have naan. I love naan. This won't be a total substitution, but it'll do. You know, we've been trying to find something that will substitute for these things. Tortillas. I love quesadillas. This isn't an exact substitution. I don't particularly like corn tortillas. They'll do. Today I'm going to try a quesadilla with the socha. So anyways, that just tickled me to no end yesterday that he decided to make that. All right, so my other big joy. Are you ready? I'm going to do my best to keep the glare off it. It is UV protectant glass. It is not museum glass, so there is still some glare. See, you can see my big windows there. Harbor Haven by the Bay Needlearts, stitched on a 28 count hand-dyed linen by Crosswing Collection, stitched 1/1. Let me back up a little more. Guys, I just keep looking at it. I'm almost in tears. I cannot even put into words how much this thrills me. I'm going to stand up here. It is everything I hoped for and more. If you are working on this and are bogged down, keep going. If you are considering stitching this and just haven't got it all together, get it going. You will not be sorry. Yes, I look at it constantly. Well, not constantly, I do stitch. But I'll turn and look at it. Like I had on my Instagram story this morning, I have my yoga mat facing it, so it is what I see when I'm standing on my yoga mat. It's right in our dining room area, so I'm looking at it as I'm eating. Harbor Haven. Yes, my proudest piece so far, definitely. Joy. Sorry about that. More than just a little bit of joy. All right, what's next? What I've been working on this week. Let's see. In no particular order. Let's see, how am I doing on my notes? Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Oh, another note of news. Teal Elder posted a comment yesterday, the day before maybe, that the store Stitch and Frog has some of the Jacobean tree charts kits. It's a kit in stock, and she believes she can get more. She mentioned that in the Facebook group, Our Sampler Years, I believe is what it's called. Teal let her know that it has been mentioned on Flosstube, and so she can expect to maybe get a kind of a, it has been, of all the different things I'm showing, it has probably been the one that I've gotten the most questions on about where it can be gotten. And that may be because people are searching and not finding it. But Stitch and Frog does say that she has some. So, and she's aware that it's been mentioned on Flosstube, so there may be multiple requests for it. All right, so there's that bit of news. All right, just making sure I'm not forgetting anything. WIPS. So I did put away the Home for Christmas piece for the moment and started working on Grateful Hearts by the Trilogy. I hope I can get this done by the end of the month, but most of what I have to do is this 1/1 corner up here, and it is intense. It's some pretty intensive stitching. Oops. So this week I got that brown border done, the 2 rows out from the specialty stitches. I got this little bit of red here done, and I started this plaid heart here. So an hour a day, I'm trying to give this. We shall see if we get it done. I hope so. Speaking of Jacobean tree, that came up on, I just dropped the chart, hold on. That came up on my wheel yesterday. So here it is. I am working the center down here. This is what I'm working on right in here. Again, I did not have it as a kit. I got it from somebody, and so I am finding my own. I found my own fabric, and I converted the Finca to DMC. This is a 35 count fabric, and that's what I have. I have to say, I'll be very glad when I'm done with all this green and can move on to some of the other colors. But it stitches fast. This is 35 count. I'm stitching 1/2. So like I said, down in here. And I'm happy to report that my new way of handling my DMC in my projects is working. I found 890. That's the lower green. The top green is 932, maybe dark avocado green or something like that. So I'm trying to get this hillock done before I come back and fill this in, because there's a big swath of this goldy color, I think, over here. And once I get that done, let's see, there's another piece that comes over here and another little piece that comes over here, and that will be kind of the width of the bottom completed. And so I hope to get that done. I won't get it done in the 2 or 3 days that I work on it, but I want to get that done first so I have a feel for the width of it. But it is going well, and I am still very pleased with the fabric, which is a good thing because I'm not starting over. All right, So, year of BAPS, Peacock. Well, before I get to the Peacock, last week after my video, I need to have a piece to hold up behind this. After my video, I spun the wheel and my chatelaine came up. So I think the last time I showed you this, I had like just this, I think I had most of this line here and this line coming out here. This is a dinky dye floss. So I finished the outline. This is building on the Taj Mahal, and then was able to start filling in. The pink is another dinky dye silk floss. So that went pretty quickly. That was 2 days of stitching. So I was pleased with my progress on those 2 days. And I will tell you that the colors in the chatelaine that she used for the Taj Mahal are very much the colors that you see at the Taj Mahal at dawn when the sun rises. It's a gorgeous soft light, and it brings out all these really pretty soft tones in the marble. It's a gorgeous sight. I've been to the Taj probably three times, once at dawn and then twice in the middle of the day, where it's much more intense. And speaking of India, peacocks remind me of India. So I tried to resist Mr. Peacock. I gave up when I saw that the next part of the chart, I don't think I have it handy that I can show you, where the next part of the chart is blocks, is squares. If you know me, if you've been around for a while, you know that, no, I don't have it saved. You know that I like designs with squares. That's why the history of sheep thrills me. I just like blocks. That's why that one, where's my finger? How do I make my finger go that way? That one I loved. That was, Little House Needleworks or Country Cottage, Winter Wonderland? It's been a while. Anyways, Mr. Peacock. A Peacock's Garden, the Stitch Along by Linen and Threads, this year's Stitch Along. So I got half of the feathers done, and this morning I wanted to start the blocks just so I could get a feel. You know, I have an awful time. I feel like it's not very focused for you guys, and it may just be that my eyesight sucks and I need to put my glasses on for you. So I wanted to start the blocks. My idea was a dark purple with a light purple in between, but I also had this kind of variegated thread that I wanted to try. And it goes from the greens to purples to blues. I'll pull that out in a second. And I like this better. I was afraid that the blues would get lost on the fabric a bit, but I think it's okay, and I think it will look even better when it has the purple, the dark purple outlines. So this is a Victorian motto. This is a Gentle Arts. This is a Weeks. This here is the same that's coming around the outside. And then this is a very variegated floss that I believe is an Old Needle Necessities. The fabric is 36 count. I'm doing it 1/2. I don't know the maker. This is one of the flosses that fabrics that I've had in my stash for years, and the tag is long gone after multiple moves. Now, okay, so the floss colors for Mr. Peacock, and these are the ones I've pulled out. I don't know how I'm going to use them. I just pulled out a variety. This is the purple that's the outline. So it's Victorian Motto Halloween Purple. This is the one that is the variegated that's going to go in between that dark purple. Again, this is an old Needle Necessities that I've had for years. The tag is long gone. But isn't that pretty? Let's see. So the super variegated, this is that. Again, no tag. I'm pretty sure it's Needle Necessities. The outer edge and the very inner edge is Gentle Arts Island Blue. Whoops. The middle feathers is Weeks Ocean. Love, love, love this one. Of course I do, right? It's turquoises and teals. Oh, so pretty. And then the Peacock, the body of the Peacock is Tropical Wonder by Victorian Motto. Not a lot of variegation, just a little bit. You can see the shading in the green changes just a little bit. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I do have another little finish. After I showed you my WIP parade last week, and I had those few at the end that were almost done, Meow Me, I think that's right, said, Jan, just get those done. Just work on them a little bit every day like you do and get them done. So I was like, you know something? You're right. Again, I need something to hold behind this. So there we go. That's the little filigree heart by Just Nan, Filigree Fancies. I will get this finished into a pillow. I am determined this week that I am going to get this sewing machine up here on this desk, figure out, reacquaint myself with how to thread a sewing machine. The first thing I'm going to do is just get some scrap fabric and get a feel for the tension and playing with it. The next thing I'm going to do is zigzag all of the loose edges of all of my different projects that I have so that they are safe, and then I'm going to start finishing, because I have a number of little things that I want to finish into a pillow. But there is that sweet thing. Done. Yay, I have a finish. Yay. So I have, for this, I still have plenty of beads left, as well as the beading needle, plenty of the silver metallic braid, and there's probably enough floss here left here to finish it. I'm not sure. That's the only thing I'm not sure about. And of course, the filigree heart is gone, but I'm going to give this away to one of you. I feel kind of not sure if this is a good giveaway because it's not a complete kit. You'll have to find the filigree heart. There's plenty of beads. And of course the floss is just DMC, so that's easy to get. The linen is a 28 count. So if you have a scrap of 28 count or a scrap of 14 count Aida, that would work. So I think this is okay. And heck, it's free. What's not to love? So you will have to get the heart though. That's probably going to be the hardest thing to deal with, but really it's a fairly I think it's a fairly common heart charm, or you could find something similar, right? I mean, any beading store is going to have something that will work. Online, Caravan Beads up in New England, Lima Beads, Fire Mountain Gems in the Northwest. I mean, there's all kinds of beading places that you can look and find something, if not this exact one, something similar. So if you are interested in this, basically leftovers, and the chart, of course, put in the comments, I fancy the filigree heart. You can say I just like the filigree heart, but whatever you do, I mean, mention filigree heart. Don't say giveaway, don't say contest, you know, all those kind of buzzwords. You have to be 18 or older. just so that it's okay for you to give me your address. And I will pick a winner before next week's video, and that little pretty will go to somebody. I also have several other charts that I've done that I want to give away, but my brain isn't quite there yet. Let's see, a little bit of haul. So I saw this, and I posted this on Instagram. I saw this completed at the cross stitch store here, Fiddlesticks 2. This is a design by Jeanette Douglas called Aloha Hawaii. This was a design she did for a cruise that they did here 5 years ago, and she was the teacher. And I think I mentioned on a video that she had started following me and liked one of my photos, and so I got in touch with her on Instagram and asked if this was available to purchase. Since it has been 5 years, it is available, but it is only available through Jeanette. She wanted me to let you know that if you are interested in it, to give you her email address. So if you are interested, let me know, and I will be happy to give that to you. There are so many things that are just so cool about this. Oh, she also has the silk pack that goes with this available. She did not know the price. She is in Canada. This was, I think, $15 or $17 with shipping from Canada to Hawaii. She didn't know the cost of the silk pack right off the top of her head, but if you're interested, you can ask her that. So there's specialty stitches. Like I said, she did this all in silk. What I really love about this, I mean, there's all kinds of things I love, but in the design, in the pattern, she talks about each of the motifs and the meaning that it has for Hawaii. So part of it is the state fish, the state flower, the state bird, the sea turtles, surfing, the meaning of aloha, the meaning of the word Hawaii, the pineapples. So there's a lot of meaning that she put into this sampler. And then there's all of the beautiful specialty stitches. Each of these pineapples has specialty stitches. I mean, it's all different specialty stitches, and it's just gorgeous. So I don't know if I'll get this started this year. I am very tempted to start it soon. I may, I was thinking I may start it for my birthday. That might be my birthday start. So, but if you are interested in this, you can get it directly from Jeanette. Let me know in the comments below, and I will give you her email address. I think that was everything, but let me check and see. Yes. All right, guys. Short and sweet and to the point. I will be back Friday with a Stitch with Me. I'll be continuing to work on Jacobean tree. Oh, I need to get the other way of pronouncing it into my head. Jacobean tree, Jacobean tree, Jacobean tree. I will be working on that again today, so I hope to get a chunk more of that done. I haven't forgotten you guys about doing the tutorial video on sizes of fabric and how to work with metallics. I'm getting to the point where I have the time to sit down and to kind of do the prep that I need to do to do that. So be looking for that in the next week or two. I've started for those of you that were doing the yoga with me, my friend Marnie and I have started a new program this month. Still the yoga with Adrienne, but we started her True Yoga 30-day program. At the beginning of each year, Adrienne does a new 30-day program. So this year's January start was Dedicate. We are starting True, which is either last year's or the years before, I don't know. So if anybody wants to join us, I'd love to have you on the ride with me. She also puts out a new calendar every month that isn't necessarily a, how to explain the difference. So she kind of curates a new calendar each month from all the different videos that she has out there. And she's been doing yoga videos on YouTube for maybe 4 or 5 years, so she does have a lot. So she curates, instead of having a flow of like a certain theme through the month, which is what Dedicate was, she pulls all kinds of different things. So that's available to you as well. I think to get that calendar, you just have to go to yogawithadrienne.com and sign up for her newsletter, or it's probably available on her website to download. I haven't actually looked because I get her emails and it was in an email. All right, I think that is all. Guys, have a great week. I know a lot of you have thought out and are like in the 50s and 60s now in the northern hemisphere, so enjoy that. Punxsutawney Phil said that spring was coming early, so it looks like it is. Hopefully it doesn't go back because it still is only February. For my friends in the southern hemisphere, has the heat wave broke yet? I hope it has. I haven't heard anything recently, but I hope you guys are starting to cool down a bit. As for me, it's another gorgeous day in paradise. That's where my joy is. I'm going to go out and take a walk in a little bit, soak up some vitamin D, and I hope you guys will find your joy in whatever you find you can see today, whether it's picking up your stitching, whether it's talking to a grandchild, whether it's taking a walk or doing yoga. Your joy is waiting for you. I know there's a lot of people hurting. I know there's a lot of people that have had diagnoses that scare them. I'm sending out the positive vibes and the healthy vibes. I want you to know I'm thinking of you and I'm praying for you. There's a lot of people who are being bullied. There's some things going on in the knitting and cross-stitch community right now that just makes me very, very sad to see that kind of acrimony. Get rid of it, shake it off, find your joy. Find your joy. You are the only one. It doesn't depend on that person next to you. It depends on you. I hope you find it. I'm wishing you all the best. I love you guys.